You ever play Follow the Leader as a kid? It was a fun game to play, especially when you had things to jump over, go under, climb, and so on. It was just something exciting to do as a kid. One thing my mom would say now and then, if your friends jumped off a bridge or a cliff, would you do it? And my answer would be yes. We follow after what we think is good. But what we think is good, is it godly? Does it add up to Jesus Christ and his teachings? In Mark chapter 10, verses 42 through 45. But Jesus called them to himself and said to them, "You know that those who are considered rulers over the Gentile lord it over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them. Yet it shall not be so among you. But whoever desires to become great among you shall be your servant. And whoever of you desires to be first shall be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." I just have to read that last part a second. And give his life a ransom for many. Jesus does not say for all. So those that believe that once saved, always saved, that the world is saved, everyone that's part of the world is saved, this is incorrect. Because he says, and to give his life a ransom for many, those that want to believe in him. But as Jesus is talking in these verses, he's talking about leadership. He's talking about leadership in the church. But leadership means anything that you are leading someone to do. So it doesn't matter if you're leading church itself or leading a group or anything else, that a leader has to be understanding of actually what is going on. And if you don't understand what is going on, and you're just a dictator to those that are under you, you're not much of a leader. People will follow you, but that's not what Jesus wants. Jesus doesn't want people to follow him because they have to. Jesus wants people to follow him because they desire to. There's a difference. And it's a difference of any other type of leadership that we do. So leadership in the church or leadership in a group, business, workplace, whatever it is that the leader has to be understanding of actually what they are leading. And if they don't understand what they're leading, they're just a head figure in the plot of things. And it has nothing to do with actually leading people, is that they're just a dictator telling you that you need to do this, and that's what you do. Jesus came here for people to realize that if you follow after him, you will have everything after this life. Those that follow after Jesus Christ desires what's going to happen after this world. And if you don't desire what happens after this world, that we actually inherit the kingdom of God, then you don't actually care of what happens after this world. So as Jesus was here, he taught. He taught how we are to live, how we are to be, and so on. And if we don't bring those things into our lives, have that relationship with Jesus Christ, we become just like the world, but we say that we are Christians. We can't claim that we are Christians and not follow what Jesus desires us to know, but not just to know, but to live it in our lives. And living by the world standards, whatever the world desires you to do, you are no longer part of that thing. You are a part of God. And it's two different things, God and the world. Christians wanted both. They want the world, they want God. You cannot have both. You have to pick what side you want to be on. It's that simple. But when you desire the world over God, God already knows your desires. Your heart actually speaks for what you want. So when it comes to leadership in the church, leadership in a group, whatever the leadership role is, the leader has to be understanding of what they're supposed to be doing. If they don't understand what they're supposed to be doing, how to act, how to put things together, and they're just being a dictator and saying, well, you got to do it this way, they are not doing what they are saying for everyone else to do. It's living on two different standards, that you tell people that you want them to do it this way when the leader himself actually does something totally different than what he's telling those that are following after that leader. And you have to realize a leader like Jesus Christ, Jesus did everything and anything that his followers did. He got, if he had to get dirty, I'm sure he was out there doing everything. He was a son of a carpenter. He built things. So he understood labor. He understood sweating, getting dirty, so on. And that's what a leader is. A leader is going to get down and dirty with those that he is leading. And if we don't realize the difference, then you don't realize the difference. And the differences from leadership in the church and leadership in the world are two different things. Leadership in church, the leader is supposed to be following after Jesus Christ and showing their flock how they need to live. But that leader has to live the same way. No different than any what he's actually trying to explain to the flock. But too many are not doing the same. So they tell their flock one thing, and they do something totally different themselves. And it's like the Pharisees and the scribes. They told the Jewish people how to live, this, that, and whatever, but they did things opposite of what they were telling those people that were following their words. So we have to understand the difference of leadership and the leadership that Jesus wants you to understand. That you're supposed to be following after someone that actually understands, that has the principles of Jesus Christ and the understanding of what actually has to be done. That Jesus is actually helping that person to do the necessary job that they supposed to be doing for the flock, for God himself. In John chapter 13, verses 12 through 17. So when he had washed their feet, taken his garments, and sat down again, he said to them, Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you say, well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. Most assuredly I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is he who is sent greater than he who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them. Those that run churches nowadays, they don't understand all the things that they have to be doing to run the church. They desire the power, they desire the title and so forth. And that's where they stay. They stay with that power and title. They don't get on their hands and knees and scrub the floor, do all the different tasks that they are asking everyone else to do. It's like cleaning toilets. You're not going to be seeing someone that's being a pastor of a mega church cleaning toilets, because that would be beneath them to do that. No, it's not beneath them to clean a toilet. But we have set up that the church is those that are on top, tells everyone on the bottom what to do. And it's the same thing with the world, that the top tells everyone down the ladder to the bottom what to do. And that's not what leadership is. Leadership is to do the same as everyone else. And that's what a true leader does. A true leader will get on his hands and knees and clean the toilet. A true leader will wash the people's feet like Jesus Christ did. And he was not ashamed in doing so, because he loved those, and he loves anyone, and he would wash anyone's feet. That's what a leader does, because he cares. He cares for those that are actually following after what he desires them to follow. And he makes it no mystery that we're supposed to be helping each other in this process, the process of life, that we're supposed to love thy neighbor, that we're supposed to be helping thy neighbor, not government helping people, but the church itself helping out those in the flock, those of the community of the church. That's how a church is. The structure of what we call modern church is supposed to be helping out those in the community. And the leadership, the pastor, the reverend, whoever it is, they're supposed to be doing the same as what they tell their flock to do. And if they're not doing it, the only thing that they're doing is speaking words, because they're not facing the facts that they're supposed to be doing the same thing as Jesus Christ did here on this earth. And a leadership is very important to the church. Because if you don't have correct leadership, you have a messed up church. It doesn't matter how much money that church is making. They could be making $100 million a year. It doesn't matter. The principles of that church is to be helping each other from the top down, not from the down up. That's supposed to be helping, but from the person right from the top is helping everyone down the ladder. And that's what Jesus did, and that's why the example of washing his disciples' feet is so important for us to realize and to understand. He wants leaders. He wants leaders to lead his flocks. He does not want dictators. There's too many dictators in the world nowadays. But he wants leaders like himself, that understand the difference, that understands the principles of what his teachings are. If you desire to lead, allow God to lead you. Do not lead God in leadership. He knows how things should be. Allow him to lead you, and for you to lead those that he desires you to lead. But always understand, when he gives you leadership, you're going to be held with great responsibility. And if you fail that leadership, it's on no one else's head except for yours. Because you took on that responsibility, but you allowed things to be set into your mind that you have to be a dictator instead of being the way Jesus Christ actually desires you to be.